I think right now is a very good time to bring this post back up. I posted this back in November when the market started to really heat up, and we didn't officially get alt season then because of Bitcoin dominance. It only broke down slightly. Today is a little bit of a different story. Now, I said back then that your time to position yourself is extremely limited now, and it was, and it still is even now. For an example, most of the old coins that were starting to heat up during this time, because this was November 27th, on. Most of the old coins that started to heat up during that time, the time to actually buy them under significant levels or even at accumulation levels, it was impossible to do so anymore. XRP is a prime example of this, right? We had so much time to buy XRP to between 20 to 50 cents and then overnight it, teleported to $3+. Today, it's still extremely true, right? We still have a lot of old coins in this space that are at great accumulation levels. They're at macro lows still, and that's why I do believe that it is extremely limited to buy these projects on the lows, because once things start to heat up, there's no turning back for quite some time. Now, I did say here that alt season lasts roughly 3 to 6 months from the starting point. It's the shortest period of the cycle, and the moves are very violent. You need to have your seeds planted ahead of time, or else you risk FOM owing into altcoins near the top. A very small percentage of retail investors are currently in this space, with bags prepared from the bear market. We are now watching as the much larger percentage of the crowd flows back in. Running a YouTube channel and Discord in this space definitely helps realize when the crowd is returning, and they are officially back. Now is the time to make sure that you are positioned before this next move in the market begins. This is going to be the most violent, the largest, and the craziest time that this market has to offer, but it's also the shortest period of the cycle. I want you all to make sure that you have a plan in place, because the next 3 to 6 months will be very wild. You can easily watch life-changing wealth disappear before your eyes. Write down your exit plan, abide by it regardless of what you see, what you hear, and what you are told. Profits can easily be taken from you, and the market will do just that if you don't take them. The time to officially lock in is now, and soon you will be paid heavily in profits from being patient, being vigilant, but most importantly, being prepared. Let's all make it this cycle and get paid. Now, obviously, this was a little bit of an impulsive post because the next 3 to 6 months weren't the best. But the good news is that we had a lot more time to accumulate. Sorry for interrupting the video, but I have to let you guys know that I am now officially partnered up with I Trust Capital, the best platform out there for premium custody accounts, and even crypto Roth IRA. They offer 80+ digital assets, including even physical gold and silver. They have partnerships with some of the biggest players out there, and they also have full-on institutional grade security tied into these accounts, which is extremely important at a time where we are starting to see more and more crypto exchanges being hacked. And also, the best part about I Trust Capital is that it's 100% US-based support, and also you can get $100 right now as a funding bonus if you sign up utilizing my link. There's going to be a link down in description below, as well as in the comments below. In the comments below. If you go over here, you can just scroll down to the bottom and you can sign up utilizing my link, which allows you to get $100 in a funding bonus. And for a little bit more information here you have on their website 0% no monthly annual fees, 1% cryptocurrency transaction fees, and then we also have the prices with gold and silver. So if you guys do want to go check this out, you guys are more than welcome to. I do think that this is the best platform to lock in on long-term crypto investments with, of course, the Crypto Era platform, which is tax advantaged. So with that being said, let's dive on in back to the video. Today, it seems as though all coins are starting to wake up in a big way on the daily. Most all coins are actually up, in a big way on the weekly. I mean, it's pretty significant on the weekly. XRP is up 25.2%, algo 45.5%. We have a ton of old coins up in a huge way. And even right now, if we actually look at the top 100, just looking through here, we're seeing a sea green precedent. Okay, Bitcoin at 118,000 plus. Ethereum almost at 3,400 XRP, still looking pretty good, above $3 XLM 45 cents roughly. We also have SUI at almost $4, HBAR at 23 cents. XBAR at 23 cents. On the weekly though, what's crazy about this is that Ethereum is up 20.6% compared to Bitcoin 6.4%, which is why I say right now we could be witnessing that phase 2 of the cycle. We could be witnessing the start of alt season officially, which if we're thinking about 3 to 6 months, that puts us in the time period between October to like roughly January for the market top. Now, obviously, we take them one day at a time because we don't want to get impulsive here. But if we look at the market, the market is looking very good. Old season, is up 39 out of 100 in terms of the old coin season index. This is one of the highest ratings so far in the last couple months. The market cap of crypto is almost at $4 trillion as well. Now, we do need to be aware of the fear and greed index, right? Because we are in greed level. So we got to be a little bit cautious here, just to be careful. But for the most part, things are looking pretty good. And also the volume in the last 24 hours. Ethereum is up to $50 billion worth of trading volume in the last 24 hours almost. This is rallying against Bitcoin's $72.04 billion. Now, this is at a time where everyone is wondering, are we pushing into alt season yet? Well, I do think that the focus is still on Bitcoin. We keep hearing talks about Bitcoin. We're not hearing a lot of talks about Ethereum just yet, but I do think that give it a week, maybe two, and what we are going to see is the Ethereum ETF outperforming the Bitcoin ETF. That's when everyone will start to pay attention to Ethereum. That's when we are officially in the altcoin season. And that's why we focus on this index here. Now, outside of this, let's go over here to what we just heard from the Federal Reserve's Bostic. He said that he would hold off on cutting rates for now. This could be the big thing to focus on. While we are in fear and greed levels, okay? Currently speaking, there is a 2.6% chance of a Fed rate cut decision happening in July. We are 13 days out. If we pump into the FOMC meeting and we get no rate cut, we just get a pause, I do think that the market could have a slight sell-off. I talked to you guys about what this would look like. I mentioned it many times. This is still the chart for Bitcoin. Clear resistance up here. It's technically a little bit lower than 120.3K. It's like around 119.8, almost 119.9 a key. But I'm still expecting a potential retest of these lows here. Okay. And I would love for the 112 a key, which is the May wick, right? We would love for this to hold. If we lose this, it could get very, very interesting very fast. And I mean interesting in a bearish way. So we want to actually hold 112 ek. We don't want to, see any move below that. We just want to see this fair value gap on the daily, because on the daily chart that there is a fair value gap here. We want to see this completely filled or at least a midline retest of it before we have that next impulse move to the upside. But I do believe that 130 KP plus is the next target. How high will Bitcoin go before we officially top out? I'm expecting somewhere between 150 to 170 key. And that should happen by, like I said, October towards like the end of this year. We could go much higher. I'm just giving you guys my thought process. But outside of Bitcoin, the reason why altcoins haven't been getting hit while Bitcoin had that nice little sell-off and now we're just ranging is because of Bitcoin dominance continues to accelerate on the weekly. As you guys can see, this is a very bearish weekly candle, one of the most bearish candles since going back here to the beginning of May. And I want to watch this closely for us to actually lose these May lows. We want to actually completely take out these wicks. So the main thing that we're actually looking at here is losing this 61.9% level. If we lose this, we could be in for a major move just like back here in 2021. Because the second that we lost the previous support zone, right? And I'm talking about this support here. All right, we were already in the middle of alt season here. We're starting to lose support going all the way back here to February of 2020 for an example. So just for reference, here we have the